Welcome back to FinSight News, your trusted source for global business, finance, and economic news. Today, we're delving into not just market trends or crypto highs, but a news story that marks the end of an American icon, the Farmers Almanac, after more than 200 years. What does the closure of such a historic publication mean for rural America, legacy print media, and the future business models and economic information? Let's unpack the implications, connect the dots to broader financial trends, and explore where the wisdom of the Farmers Almanac goes next. Imagine a world where for 2 centuries, a slim paperback was the go-to resource for planting guides, weather predictions, and practical living advice. The Farmer's Almanac has stood almost unchanged on kitchen counters across America since 1818, sharing weather, wit, and wisdom for multiple generations. But in November 2025, the publishers announced that their 2026 edition will be the last. What led to the end of this beloved resource? And what can we learn as investors, entrepreneurs, and information seekers? The decision to halt publication wasn't sudden. The team cited growing financial difficulties with producing and distributing the almanac amid what they called a chaotic media environment. Print media faced rising costs, falling subscriptions, and growing competition from digital platforms offering free or on-demand information. Beyond printing, maintaining a web presence and social media have become costly, especially as audience habits shift rapidly. The Farmers Almanac announced they'll begin phasing out their website and social media platforms this December, with the site staying live only until the end of 2025. This is a real-time lesson in business disruption, showing even the most trusted legacy brands are exposed to economic pressures familiar to any company in today's volatile publishing and tech landscape. If you've seen headlines lately, you might be confused, aren't there, 2 Farmers Almanacs? The answer is yes. The classic orange-covered Farmers Almanac, founded in 1818, is closing shop. Meanwhile, the similarly named Old Farmers Almanac, with its cheerful yellow cover and a storied history dating to 1792, is still going strong. So, for fans of weather folklore, gardening tips, or celestial events, the Old Farmers Almanac continues its legacy, proving that tradition can thrive when paired with fresh business models and digital adaptation. What made the Farmer's Almanac so influential besides the weather predictions was its mix of content. Each issue blended astronomy, recipes, rural wisdom, humor, and even best fishing days, targeting a niche reader base that valued both practicality and storytelling. But this very business model depended on wide reach and routine subscription. Renewal's a challenge as audiences grow more fragmented and content moves online, often for free. For investors and creators, Telesony's innovation keeps traditions alive. The Old Farmer's Almanac diversified early with robust online platforms, digital calendars, and interactive tools, which helped it stay relevant when competitors struggled. While this might sound like a sentimental loss, it's a serious economic one for America's rural sector. The almanac helped millions of farmers, fishers, and gardeners make informed decisions based on long-range weather patterns, phases of the moon, and best days for planting. Without such a centralized source, rural communities must now rely on digital weather services or scattered apps, often less personalized, sometimes costly, and subject to algorithmic changes. This is a classic example of what happens when trusted niche products disappear. Communities scramble for replacement solutions. So, what does the end of the Farmer's Almanac tell us about the broader trends in business? Here are some takeaways. Legacy media, even with dedicated audiences, must innovate or risk closure. Diversification of revenue streams and digital transformation are no longer optional. Community-based business models, like the Almanac's face, added strain as users shift attention to global, digital-first platforms. For business watchers, this story echoes the shakeup in other sectors. Think newspapers, local radio, or even cable TV, all facing similar crossroads in the digital era. If you're building a business, investing in legacy assets, or creating content. Other a YouTube channel, the Farmers Almanac's end offers critical lessons. Invest in digital infrastructure early. Adapt to audience behaviors quickly, not reactively. Preserve your brand's core value, but don't shy away from change. And remember, the old Farmers Almanac survived by doing exactly this. It may just be the yellow-covered exception to a daunting rule: the businesses that thrive are the ones that embrace digital, even as they honor tradition. So where does the iconic brand go from here? While the web presence winds down in December and the last print hit stands in 2026, the lessons, stories, and wisdom offered by the Farmers Almanac will endure in American memory, folklore, and the digital archives. For finance and economics watchers, this is far more than nostalgia. This is a snapshot of how cash flow, innovation, and audience engagement determine survival in today's business climate. Before you click away, take inventory of the traditional brands and business models you trust. Are they innovating? Is their value translating to new formats? For content creators and micro-niche entrepreneurs, find a way to balance authenticity and adaptation. The Almanac story tells us that it's possible to keep wisdom alive, but only if you move with the times. Let us know what you think. Have you ever used the Farmers Almanac? Would you trust a digital-only replacement? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching Finsight News. For more stories on global business, finance, and economic trends brought to you with a fresh perspective, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. The end of the Farmer's Almanac is just one chapter in a bigger story about innovation, adaptation, and the relentless march of progress. Stay informed, stay curious, and keep tracking the trends. See you in the next video.